The people of Judah had messed up with God so much that God needed to punish them and move them to faithfully see again that He was their God and they were His people. God used the Babylonian Empire to conquer Judah. The Babylonian army had taken a lot of the people to Babylon. One of those was a young man named Daniel. Daniel loved God and knew that God was taking care of His people, even if it didn't seem like it at the time. While Daniel was in Babylon, he was chosen to be part of King Darius' government. There came a time that King Darius wanted to reorganize his kingdom. He appointed 120 governors to be in charge of all the parts of his realm. Over them were 3 vice presidents, one of whom was Daniel. The governors reported to the vice presidents, who made sure that everything was in order for the king. But Daniel, who had been blessed by God with lots of spirit and intelligence, so completely outclassed the other vice presidents and governors that the king decided to put him in charge of the whole kingdom. The vice presidents and governors got together to find some old scandal or skeleton in Daniel's life that they could use against him. But they couldn't dig up anything. He was completely trustworthy. They could find no evidence of negligence or misconduct. So they finally gave up and said, "We're never going to find anything against this Daniel unless we can make up something religious." The vice presidents and governors conspired together and then went to the king and said, "King Darius, live forever. We've convened your vice presidents, governors, and all your leading officials and have agreed that the king should issue the following decree. For the next 30 days, no one is to pray to any god or mortal except you, O king. Anyone who disobeys will be thrown into the lion's den. Issue this decree, O king, and make it unconditional, as if written in stone, like all the laws of the Medes and the Persians." By the way, there are 2 things you need to pay attention to. First, Daniel was not there when they went to King Darius. Second, when they said, "the laws of the Medes and the Persians," that was like saying it was a ruling that could never be changed by anyone, including the king. That was a big-time ruling. King Darius signed the decree. When Daniel learned that the decree had been signed and posted, he continued to pray just as he had always done. His house had windows in the upstairs that opened toward Jerusalem. 3 times a day he knelt there in prayer, thanking and praising his God. The conspirators came and found him praying, asking God for help. They went straight to the king and reminded him of the royal decree that he had signed. "Did you not," they said, "sign a decree forbidding anyone to pray to any god or man except you for the next 30 days? And anyone caught doing it would be thrown into the lion's den?" "Absolutely," said the king, "written in stone, like all the laws of the Medes and Persians." Then they said, "Daniel, one of the Jewish exiles, ignores you, O king, and defies your decree. 3 times a day he prays to his God, not you." At this, the king was very upset and tried his best to get Daniel out of the fix he'd put him in. He worked at it the whole day long. But then the conspirators came back. Remember, O king, it's the law of the Medes and Persians that the king's decree can never be changed. The king caved in and ordered Daniel brought and thrown into the lion's den. But he said to Daniel, "May your God, to whom you are so loyal, get you out of this." A stone slab was placed over the opening of the den. The king sealed the cover with his signet ring and the signet rings of all his nobles, fixing Daniel's fate. The king then went back to his palace. He refused supper. He couldn't sleep. He spent the night fasting. Early in the morning, the king got up and hurried to the lion's den. As he approached the den, he called out anxiously, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God, whom you serve so loyally, saved you from the lions?" "O king, live forever," said Daniel. "My God sent his angel, who closed the mouths of the lions so that they would not hurt me. I've been found innocent before God and also before you, O king. I've done nothing to harm you." When the king heard these words, he was happy. He ordered Daniel taken up out of the den. When he was hauled up, there wasn't a scratch on him. He had trusted his God. Then the king commanded that the conspirators who had informed on Daniel be thrown into the lion's den, along with their wives and children. Before they hit the floor, the lions had them in their jaws, tearing them to pieces. King Darius published this proclamation to every race, color, and creed on earth. "Peace to you, abundant peace. I decree that Daniel's God shall be worshipped and feared in all parts of my kingdom. He is the living God, world without end. His kingdom never falls. His rule continues eternally. He is a savior and rescuer. He performs astonishing miracles in heaven and on earth. He saved Daniel from the power of the lions." From then on, Daniel was treated well during the reign of Darius and also in the following reign of Cyrus the Persian. Thanks for listening to this great story of faithfulness with God. Like Daniel, we can be faithful with God because Jesus died and rose for us, and He is always with us, even when it doesn't seem like it.